Clones 99. The defective clones with desirable mutations. They call themselves the Bad Batch.
Hey everyone, welcome to another amazing episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah,
I'm Drew.
And I'm Andrew.
and we are back with The Bad Batch, Season 1, Episode 3, Replacements.
No.
It was a doozy of an episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It was pretty
yeah.
intense.
It was hardcore. Definitely not a kids show.
No.
Yeah,
No, it
no. Yeah, that's fair enough to say. Yeah.
But we have a lot to get through tonight, but Andrew, you want to go through our normal socials?
Yeah, we're on the internet. Check us out.
All right.
All
so-
right.
I'm totally joking. We are on the internet. You can connect with us. Instagram and Facebook. Empire Radio Podcast. All one word, all lowercase. We don't do any of that capitalization, spacing, grammar stuff. It's just Empire Radio
Nah.
Podcast. YouTube, Empire Radio, a Star Wars podcast. Go check us out. Make sure you hit the subscribe button while you're there and the bell icon to be notified every time a new video gets posted. We are on Twitch. We stream on Twitch every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/Empire Radio. And we are also streaming at the same time on Friday nights, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, to discuss every new episode of The Bad Batch while we still have them.
Yep.
And also, right beforehand, at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, Drew for sure. Most of the time, it's probably going to be me too. He and I are having a watch party for the episode. So if you want to jump in, we have a timestamp running on the screen. We'll tell you, we'll do a countdown. We'll tell you when to hit play on your end, and we'll all watch it together, but not on the screen because we don't want to get blocked by big business. On YouTube.
Yes.
It's already happened once, so
Yes,
we're not going
yes.
to get into that. I'm still salty. It doesn't matter. But we're on Twitch, twitch.tv/Empire Radio. And last but surely not least, we have a Discord. So to join that, there's a link on a pinned post on our Facebook channel. By that, I mean our Facebook account page, whatever you want to call it. We're on Facebook, and that's where it is. And on our Instagram and the link in our bio. The Instagram link in particular, if you click on it, you'll have a few different options. You can join the Discord. It has links to all of our other social medias. So if you, for whatever reason, you forget everything I've said, find us on Instagram, hit the link in our bio. You can tap all the little social media icons and do it that way. Also, in the link in our bio on Instagram, there is a link to our anchor.fm site where you can leave us a voicemail, which, if you're expecting voicemail time this episode, we have switched that just recently. We're only doing it on Tuesdays so that we can get through everything we need to get through for the Bad Batch episodes. But we need more voicemails. I think we got one today.
I think
We have like
have
3 or
two
4.
or 3 ready for Tuesdays. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got voicemails, but we need more. We always need more because we
Always.
go through all of them. We go through the whole group of them every time on Tuesdays, because we haven't had 8 yet. So we've always had a pretty manageable amount. So send those in.
Do you think if we get like 10 or 15, we can just do a voicemail episode?
Definitely.
Dude, yeah, hands down. How about this? We have a plan for next Tuesday. Okay, we do. We have a plan, and sorry, I just looked at the chat, and Era says there's a link
And
in
a
our
link.
link in the bio, and that is correct. There is a link in our link in the bio. It's like a link, and you click on it, and it's like just a slew of other links for you to click on. But here's my challenge. It is 9:27 p.m. Eastern on Friday, May the 14th. Okay?
10 days after May 4th.
Yes. But also 3 days before my birthday.
Ooh.
My birthday is Monday, May 17th, 2021.
Ooh.
If we can accumulate 15 voicemails, legitimate voicemail questions, like
Correct.
not just
Happy
I love the
birthday.
dad jokes. Please keep the dad jokes coming, but
True.
like questions for us that we can discuss. Okay, if we can get 15 before Tuesday night, we'll do a full episode just voicemails and talk about voicemails.
Yeah.
I mean, if not, we still have a really fun episode planned. But
But-
there's my birthday challenge for all of you.
Speaking of birthdays, you guys, do you know whose birthday it is today?
The maker
Oh.
himself.
The maker itself, George
maker
Lucas.
himself.
Happy birthday! And if
Happy
you're
birthday,
listening to
George.
this,
How old is he? Like 75
It
or
doesn't
something?
matter.
it doesn't matter. It's his birthday.
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter. It's his birthday. We're celebrating him. We're celebrating him being
In
30.
our eyes, he's young. But anyways, if you're listening to this, George, amazing.
Give us a shout out.
Give us a shout out and happy birthday to you more than
Happy
anything
birthday,
else.
George. Thank you for
Happy
bringing us Star
birthday,
Wars.
George. Without
An
you, we
ILM.
would not be here right now. So
Yeah, I mean, we
no,
could.
we could be
would
doing
just, We would just be
like a-
doing like Marvel.
our Lord.
Well, I was thinking we were gonna do Star Trek because
Ooh,
Yeah.
nope,
well,
yep.
you and I both know that I would not be here.
But then again, if there was no Star Wars, would we be watching Star Trek?
It technically didn't it predate Star Wars?
yeah, the original Star Trek was from like the 60s, I think. So
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't good. Sorry.
whoa, shots fired.
Anyways,
I love how we still make that noise even though we have a button for that.
I want to say the button because what people don't understand. Excuse me. What people don't understand
It
is that
takes
every
you
time I
too
hit
much
the button.
to edit.
I have to add the button in the podcast. So I have to go listen and like find all the points where and it's not like we're all like, okay, I'm gonna hit the button in 3, 2, 1, and then you both are absolutely quiet, so I see a break.
Yeah.
Or like one of us is always talking or laughing or something, and it's like, no, I have to
Well,
go
last
back and
time you hit it, I
find-
was like screaming because I was so happy
you
you hit
were.
it. So
but I got it in there.
it was perfect. It was good. But
Anyways,
yes.
so there's a slew of ways to connect with us on the internet, and by a long shot, the Discord is the most fun and the most personal. It's bumping. On average, I check Discord every day, and I've got like 300 messages to go through. I'm not joking. It's
I'm
a lot of
pretty
fun.
sure yesterday there was probably close to 1,000 messages across all the different text channels when I got home from work, and
Did
I'm
you
like,
did you
Never
read them
tell
all?
me the odds.
I didn't. And then it sucks because like sometimes I'll specifically be tagged in a comment, and there's no way just to like click to like go
See
to
it?
what you were tagged in. So
Well, it highlights it.
well,
so you
right,
can-
but
You
if it's
just scroll
500
until you
things
see the
up,
you see the big yellow bar.
Still
right,
a lot.
I'm just saying.
I get it. No, I get you. But
yeah.
Well, join the Discord. It's still a lot of
Yes.
fun. There's
Join the
we're-
Discord.
We've got a massive age range too. It's family friendly. It's a lot of fun. Very inviting. No bullying. None of that nasty stuff.
nope, it's fun.
It's a lot of fun. So connect with us on there. And last but surely not least, I don't know if you've heard, and I'm laughing because most of you probably have. We have merch.
We do.
EmpireRadioTradingPost.com. You can go there. We've got t-shirts, we've got hoodies, we've got mugs, we've got masks, we've got. Did I just?
That's
cover
it. That's all of
But-
them.
but we've got-
If you request things, technically we could put other things on there because there's a
True.
million different things
Yes.
that they have.
There are.
So if you want a pillow with my face on it,
Oh gosh.
Eating a
Like-
muffin.
eating a muffin, like if we can get 20 people to just kidding.
That's
Yeah,
not even that
let's-
high of a number.
Yeah. Let's not. Let's not
But-
do that.
But yes,
But for real, if there is something you would like to see, like some sort of like an insulated like tumbler mug or something like that, or something, like if you got ideas, let us know because
Yes.
there's a possibility we might be able to do it. And there is a portion of every single sale that goes to us, and any of the ones that have the design with the 2 stormtroopers and Darth Vader on them for the remainder of the month of May are going to the local artist Matt DeCenzo from Minneapolis, who did that for us. So it would be really helpful for him as well because he's phenomenal. And he's a great guy, and he's worth supporting too. So, yeah, that's it.
All right.
You ready to fly over?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
All right, guys. Episode 3, replacements. What were your overall thoughts?
It's pretty good.
That's it.
Does it?
I mean, like, it felt. It still feels like we're building to something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and for me, it didn't get there yet. You know. I really liked. I'll say it this way: I liked the secondary story with Crosshair more than I did the primary story with the Bad Batch because it was full of tension, pretty edgy. you know,
Really edgy.
Definitely not a kid's show.
Even though my
but-
3-year-old niece will watch it. But yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'm thinking about that, and I'm going, maybe
No, she's good.
it's not good.
No, she's good.
But no, it was good. There was a ton of character development, like small, little subtle moments of character development that I enjoyed too. Omega's the best. Every
Omega,
time,
yeah.
The more episodes I watch of this show, the more I fall in love with her, and I just want to shelter her from the world and protect her.
Even though she would probably protect you because she's
doesn't
so
matter.
cool.
I would adopt her as my daughter in
Well.
a heartbeat and take care of her.
All right.
Okay.
And here's the thing, here, I feel like one, everyone in our Discord has said that at least once, and two, neither one of you can deny that.
Deny that she's
Cool or
adorable?
well,
And that you would adopt her. You would adopt her.
No, well,
if
you
if
said no one
could.
would deny. Well, deny what specifically?
that she's adoptable.
That she's like not cute and adoptable.
Oh,
I feel like everyone has had at some point, like one point or another in the Discord, has been like, she's like the cutest thing. Isn't there like an argument now about who's cute? between
There's a
her and
debate between
Grogu?
Grogu and Omega on the Discord,
oh.
and this can get a little heated.
I mean, yeah, I think she's adoptable. In my life right now, currently, I'm not thinking about adopting anyone right now. But-
yeah, that's fair.
But yeah,
You've got your bases covered.
yeah. But yeah, that didn't go through my head. But yeah, she's adoptable because she's a child. But I guess what child isn't adoptable?
That is a good point.
All of them that aren't.
Ooh, which is 0.
What?
All of them
No,
that
I mean,
are
like if they're in a healthy, like happy family and they're not up for adoption, that's
Oh.
not adoptable.
I thought
Yeah.
you mean like all the like
That's fair.
orphan kids, like
Oh no, orphans, sure, yeah.
Except for that
all of them
one.
were adoptable. That's what I thought you were asking. You said I was wrong, basically. I'm like, what do you mean? There's
I was
not
like,
kids
there's a
that
lot of
are-
kids on this planet that aren't, because adopting them would be kidnapping them.
true.
That's a
Okay.
different story.
Yeah,
And
so-
I don't-
okay.
I don't approve of that.
But we support adoption here at Empire Radio, so
True.
Oh yeah, for sure. If Micaiah and I ever have kids, it's gonna be through adoption.
Really?
oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what we've decided. We're not there yet, but if the time comes, we're gonna adopt for sure.
that's cute. You guys heard it first, right here.
That's
That's
cat's keeping us more than busy.
that's
You
fair.
can't handle a cat. If you're not gonna be able to handle a human
Nah, I can
being.
handle the cat. I just don't want anything else. Because I have
True.
a cat, I have Drew, I have Jeremiah.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're
you
a
guys- you
handful.
guys-
We're a
I was gonna
handful.
say, you guys are a handful.
That's fair. Well, my thoughts on that episode. I liked it better than last week.
Yeah, I do too.
I really enjoyed kind of what Andrew said. I really enjoyed the other side, like the crosshair, the replacement part. I mean, that's kind of what the episode is actually about, them, because they're the replacements. So I enjoyed that aspect and learning more and more about how the Empire went away from cloning. is
Yeah.
really what I'm here for. Like that's what I want. So I enjoyed that part, and it just leaves us with more. Like next week, it's even more. And I keep forgetting that this is a cartoon. Like we have more episodes than eight, right? Like in the Mandalorian, when we break down the Mandalorian, if we had 2 episodes like this in a row, we'd be like, when are they gonna get to the part? Like it's what is taking them so long? But in hindsight, this is a clone. Like this is a cartoon show that is a little bit more spread out because we have more episodes. So, with that being said, I enjoyed this episode a lot. There's parts of it that I'm like, oh, did they just burn those people alive? And the answer is
Yes.
Ding, ding.
yes, yes, they
Yes,
did. So
they did.
that happened in a cartoon show, but yeah, no, I liked it. Thought it was pretty edgy, I mean, me and Jeremiah liked the edgy parts. So there,
Yeah,
there wasn't enough
I-
kids in that part that died. No, I'm just kidding. But
but I agree with both of you because like Andrew said that there's still a lot of like build up to something, and like I feel like the payoff of whatever this build up is going to be really great. I think
yep.
when we get to it, it's going to be mind blowing, and so like even though I want like answers now, I have to be patient and like I get it. I trust Dave Filoni that it's all going to work out. And I just like the two sides of the story that are moving towards something, and I'm just excited to see what it looks like. And I agree with Drew about learning more about how the clones get phased out, and this is just the baby steps before that, so it's exciting.
I really also enjoyed the dynamic of them trying to like Hunter and the emotion that he has about Crosshair, and like he felt like he left him behind, like that is really pulling on his heart, and like Omega keeps reminding him like no, like it wasn't his choice, like this, it's not his fault, like don't blame him for these certain situations. And so I really enjoyed that part of it too, because you can see the struggle that the crew is having, and they didn't mention Omega at one point, or Crosshair, and Omega's like, and Crosshair, like don't forget about him because we're gonna get him back. Almost like that's her role in this, is to help figure out a solution for this. And like I don't know, I think it's really cool and I like it a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
All
Jeremy,
right.
what did you think?
Well, I
He
just
did.
kind of said that.
Well, give us more.
That's not how that works. But
All right.
we'll start doing the scene by scene.
Sounds good.
So it starts off with Omega hanging out with the Gonk droid on the ground.
Does he
and
have a name
Hunter-
yet?
Gonk.
This man just said, "Does he have a name yet?" And Jeremiah goes, "Gonk."
That's what it is. It's kind of like
That's fair.
All
R2D2. That's what he is. It's like that's what he is. C3PO. That's just what he is. He's not.
No, but he's a okay. Yep. That's just cool.
All right. All right. From now on, until we get an actual name,
We're
we'll
gonna call him.
him.
No, I
Butch, okay.
No, no.
Steven.
No, I like the name you picked.
You
Gonk.
said
What?
Butch?
Yeah.
No. No, we're not doing that.
Okay.
Charles.
Charles.
No, I like Gonk. We can call him that. I just
That's
didn't know if we had a name yet. But
All right. So Hunter goes around and he's passing out food portions. Like, what are those portion sticks called? Is it? Do they
I
have
always
an
like to
actual
think
name?
that they're the candy cigarettes that I used to eat as a kid.
But like, they're the same ones that
Yeah.
Luke had
had,
on Dagobah,
yeah.
right?
I don't know.
I-
Sustenance sticks or something. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that there is a name for them, because you can buy that exact like food box that Luke had at Galaxy's Edge, and I'm pretty sure there probably is a name for that. The chat can help us out and maybe they can figure it out. But I always think they're like just really intense string cheese
Ara says chow sticks.
chow sticks. Oh,
That's a.
All right.
Is that just what she's calling it, or is that what it actually is called?
I don't know. I like it though.
I like it.
She
too.
said, "I
But
think that's what they called it in the show." So, let's go with
Okay.
that.
I think maybe for an episode of Coruscant Cafe, I should
Make some chow sticks.
make some chow sticks.
Dude, that'd be dope.
I don't know what it'd be made out of though. But-
Chow.
It's like frosted mini wheats ground up and like peanut butter.
Just making an energy bar.
Yeah, basically.
Dude,
It's basically-
honestly,
it's
yeah.
a granola bar. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Or like,
Um,
yeah.
Yeah. So Hunter has to ration the food because obviously they don't have the support of the Empire anymore. They don't have any money, and so they have to ration all the food out, which is kind of. I think it makes sense. Like, you wouldn't think because you don't really see people eat a lot in Star Wars. Like they just do their missions and it's just us. They just have food. Like the only time we see eating is like Padme and Anakin on
Okay.
having their little date thing, and he uses the Force and does the thing with the fruit. Like that's what other meals have we seen?
And Luke,
So-
like I was trying to think. I don't think we've ever seen Han Solo eat.
He was invited to have dinner with Vader, but he kind of ruined that.
True.
Come on, if Vader invited you for dinner, would you go over and eat dinner with him?
Well, he didn't know.
No, he
was-
didn't know Vader was there. Remember?
Yeah.
I'm just saying he had a chance.
He
to
said
have dinner
sit.
with Vader.
He did say sit. Vader did say sit.
Yeah, I don't
But-
think we've ever seen Han Solo eat though.
Yeah.
Did he eat in Solo?
No.
Huh.
Maybe when they go on to the what's his face's what do they
Nah,
call it?
he just had a drink.
Had a drink. He didn't like grab a shrimp,
A pretzel?
one of those blue shrimp from.
Quill.
No, that's
Wait, no, that's
first of all, you're thinking of
character.
Krill, and
Krill,
Quill
that's
is
a
the
real-
Yes.
Ugnaught that
Yeah.
Yeah, Quill's an
gave his
Ugnaught.
life trying to save Grogu.
R.I.P.
But yeah, so they're rationing food. But and then it cuts to Tech. He's making a little device that's going to scan chips, which kind of reminded me of a little device that was in my Bad Batch fan fiction. Slightly, this little like contraption to go on the head. But more and more, all my ideas they stole from me. Like I just can't get over this. Like it's basically.
This is modern day theft at its
This is,
finest.
it's kind of like you got the basic clone rendering in the animated shows, and then like you have all the variations. Like I'm like the base clone, and they're just kind of like covering it up with different hairdos and tattoos and stuff. But it's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
So I see you, Lucas. I see you.
Happy birthday, though. Happy birthday.
Well, I was saying Lucas.
Oh, film.
not
Oh,
George
yeah,
Lucas.
yeah,
But
okay.
I want to be
There-
specific in case he's
Sure.
listening
What
to this.
he could be listening. It is his birthday, so.
right. So Tech, he's making a device to scan the biochips and inhibitor chips so he can, I'm assuming, to learn more about it. Which I'm excited to see how that plays out. Because, like, is it just to scan it or is it to, like, manipulate it? Because if it's to manipulate it, he could accidentally, like, enhance it like they did with Crosshair and then, like, more of the Bad Batch go bad or something like that, which would be interesting. But I think but they're going to be working towards saving clones, just like we were kind of like predicting that they're going to try and save clones. So I look forward to that. But their ship, which I forget the name of their ship. Do you guys remember the name of their ship?
Oh shoot! It's something Havoc.
Wreak Havoc or what is
No,
it?
it's H&M.
Havoc
Remember?
Marauder. Thank you.
H&M.
That
H&M.
actually
Oh,
worked.
that's right.
Havoc Marauder. Thank you, Drew.
You're welcome.
So that ship is just kind of falling apart because when they escaped from Seleucami, they took a lot of damage, and so they're dealing with that. And while they're going through hyperspace, there's malfunctions, and they start falling out. They get sucked out of hyperspace, and of course, there's a planet. It happens. There's always a planet right there when people get out of hyperspace.
Well, it's better than that than something
Nothing.
Light of the Jedi.
True.
That is true.
That's a quick way to end a season. right there.
Yeah, once
And
they did
we're
just end
done.
it there, and then it was Crosshair show.
Crosshair and
Um,
Rex. That's the whole show.
I'd be out.
That's a
I mean,
sitcom right there, dude.
Crosshair and Rex.
Yeah,
True. Yeah.
One's super serious and one's
yeah. Like Crosshair, he
Normal.
wants the apartment like super clean and like and orderly, and then Rex, he's kind of just a little more laid back and
And
a
and
little
they had
messy.
and they're
He shaves his
forced.
head, like
Mm,
his hair all over the bathroom sink. I could see it.
that's
I'd
fair.
watch that.
I would too.
I would dabble. I don't know if I
Dabble.
could commit.
This man said I
If
would
it
dabble.
if it's on, I would watch it. But
So they're just crashing. They're about to crash, and so Gonk, he's rolling back and forth all over the floor. He can't hold himself up. The seats with the harnesses it's too big for Omega and too small for Wrecker, and they end up crashing on like was it the moon probably, I think that they
It was the moon, yeah.
yeah, because there's a lot of craters and stuff, which is very moon-esque.
Well,
Um,
if you read the
I don't read.
description, I was gonna say it literally says they crash on a moon, like an uninhabited moon. Yeah.
Okay. And so they crash land and they're all fine. And it cuts to Crosshair back on Camino, and they're doing more testing and scanning of Crosshair, which like what are they doing? Are they continuing to enhance the work of the inhibitor chip, or are they just studying?
That's what it looks like.
I think they're
Studying?
continuing
Or-
No,
to
no, I think
enhance.
they're I think it's like a treatment where they're trying to keep him in the
Do you
mental
think
state
that
he's in.
it's slowly diminishing with time? Because later in the episode, when they return to the Bad Batch's barracks with the other squad, like he kind of looks around and said, "Do you think that the inhibitor chip is weakening and that they have to keep?"
Yeah,
Yep.
I do.
It's interesting.
Because I mean,
Now, do you think
because it was technically faulty, even though it worked.
Yeah.
It worked more. I think it's still faulty to a certain extent.
So you think that's just true with Crosshair, or do you think other clones have that same problem with it wearing off?
Oh, I think it's just Crosshair.
I think it's just
Crosshair.
Crosshair because now question is that what was happening with Heavy
Wrecker,
I mean,
when he hit his head and
When he
the
kept-
whole episode,
he kept
he kept rubbing his head
rubbing
on the
his
side
head.
where the biochip
Yeah.
is. And so
You think when he hit his head, it like triggered it?
I don't know, like because they throughout the episode they showed him complaining about his headache
Yeah.
and rubbing his head. So that's definitely going to come into play, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Which I hope that it's not him turning bad. Like that'd be not good.
No,
but-
I doubt that.
we'll
Well,
find
I
out.
wouldn't doubt it. I just would hate to see that happen where he.
Yeah, I'm not doubting
affects-
anything, but I hope not.
But Tarkin is there watching Crosshair going through his whatever and
Treatment.
and the Vice Admiral Rampart comes, and so he's the guy from last episode that was doing the chain code advertisement or decree or whatever you want to call it. And so he introduces something called Project War Mantle, which is apparently I was watching another reaction channel before this, and they said that was something that was listed in Rogue One when Jyn Erso is reading through the different titles. that
Oh
was one, I think.
yeah,
I don't remember that specifically.
I remember that now that you said that.
Which is interesting that even after 19 years, that's still a project that they're working on. So
Well, it may not be a project. It may
Just
be
be
a
one
set
of the
plans and directives.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It could be an archive.
that too.
Yeah.
You know. But who knows?
I
That's
think
cool.
that's a cool name, War Mantle. Um, and so he's very adamant about wanting to recruit soldiers because he has this mindset that willing participants would be better than clones, which I don't really understand that logic because the clones are now brainwashed and 100% compliable to everything that they're commanded. So, I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Do you think why do you think he wants
I mean, I don't think it makes any sense at all because
right?
not only are the clones literally bred to follow orders, but they have an incredible track record of doing so. Minus
Yeah.
a handful of other instances, and then they're like incredibly well trained.
Yeah. Nala Say was making that same argument. Like they were bred for this and raised for this. Like you can't compete with them. And the guy's like, well, anyone can be trained to do something. Like no, like
Yeah, but not to that same level.
yeah,
No.
Like, dude. Again, I know it's expanded universe, but like the training that's discussed for the clone commandos in those novels is insane. Like if the canon version of that for ARC troopers and for clone commandos was anything what it is, is anything in canon like it was in the expanded universe, like their training rivaled that of the Mandalorians. Like they were
yeah,
seriously skilled, So I don't know. I think
right,
it's a dead end, but I mean, we know how it ends up, so
right.
whatever.
But it is possible though that um, War Mantle was specifically referring to like the 4-person elite squad that we're about to get to. Like maybe it's kind of like a special ops
Mm.
groups or kind of
Like
here in the United States, like Navy SEALs, like SEAL
yeah,
Team
yeah,
6 or something. Like
yeah.
they're highly trained above everyone else,
Mm-hmm.
and they're the ones that do the top secret missions and
Well,
stuff. And
they need to
just
get new people, but
Well, they'll just people kill them, I guess. But yeah.
but yes. So as they're talking about this, we see this 4-person squad, um, and they're called the Elite Squad, which is it's not just a adjective. It's in the subtitles. It was capital E, capital S. So they're the Elite Squad. So they're an
Yeah.
actual thing, and so everyone wants to know was the one woman in that lineup Fennec? Because it was definitely an Asian-looking woman.
mm-mm.
What,
I don't
what?
think so. I mean,
Ooh, I didn't even.
that
I
could be
mean,
an
I only see it
interesting twist,
once.
but I don't think so.
Because, like,
Shoot.
obviously everyone knows that she's in the season at
In the
some point,
season, yeah.
and it was definitely an Asian-looking woman, the character, and
Mm.
so like they want you at least to think that that's Fennec. But someone in our Discord just mentioned about how, um, so like the real life actress is 57 years old
Mm-hmm.
and Tamora Morrison is 60 years old. And so technically they're about the same age. So if that were true about Boba Fett and Fennec, like she would also have to be like
Super
a young
young.
teenager.
Yeah.
But the actress like is 57 and she looks like she's 40. So
True.
like she could be much older than Boba Fett and she just ages well. But my guess is it is Fennec. I think it'd be cool that
That's how she was trained.
like if she like were to defect and join the Bad Batch rather than hunt them down, that would be
Ooh,
it'd be a cool thing. What do you guys think?
that would be cool. I'm
Yeah,
trying to go
if it
back
is
to.
Fennec, what do you think?
I'm
I'm
down.
trying to find a picture. I guess no one's posted a picture of them yet, but I'm trying to find a picture of their faces again because I swear she looked more like African American to me
Well,
than
no, there was an African American lady.
Oh, you're right.
and
You're
an
right.
Asian
You're
lady.
totally right. You're totally right.
So there's 2 ladies and 2 guys,
Yeah, you're right.
2 generic white guys that were.
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean it would be really cool.
Trying to
I mean,
find
it'd be a really
when we
it would be
see
a really
them.
cool backstory to have for her.
What time do we
anyway.
actually see them again? Do you have that pulled up, Andrew?
It's within like the first 10 minutes of the
Yeah.
episode.
It's pretty quick.
It's right after they crash landing,
Mhm.
and it goes to Crosshair, and then it goes to them.
Yeah, it's. I mean that's a really good theory. I didn't even put the two together, but that would be really cool. I would enjoy having that be part of her backstory.
Yeah, me
'Cause
too.
It would explain a lot.
If
you
it
know?
is her, I'm pumped.
Do you think she will, if it is Fennec, do you think she will defect and fight against the Empire / join the Bad Batch, or do you think she's going to be a antagonist against the Bad Batch?
Well, I do know that there is a shot in the trailer where the Bad Batch is chasing her.
True.
Remember? Because there was a
Okay.
shot with a taxi
Right.
where they were chasing her. So
Right.
I don't know what kind of tension is there, but it would make sense for me. It would make sense to me for her to begin the process of defecting during this episode because of what we're eventually going to talk about. But what happens,
Mm-hmm.
and then I just don't know how she would get from there to them chasing her. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
Like I'm not saying that I can't see it at all, but it would have to be like she got on a mission with them and they think she betrayed them, but she really didn't. She's trying not to blow her cover, like something like that, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think she's gonna directly join the Bad Batch per se, but I think if that is Finnick, I could see a few more things like in this episode happening, and her being like, "Nah, I'm out. I'm good."
Was
I'd
she
rather
the
be a
one
bounty
that
hunter."
shot the guy through the window?
No, I thought that was.
I thought that was the other one of the generic white guys.
Oh. Because
Okay.
if that would make sense that it was her. Because that was like a really good sniper shot.
Right.
And it was with a normal blaster rifle too.
Yeah.
So
We might
I
be
don't think
onto
you can-
something.
I was wondering, is there really any variance between those soldiers and their uniforms?
not really. Aside from Crosshair.
Yeah,
Right.
no, I don't think so.
So I don't know if like we could even see like any differences. Like from
We'd probably
early in
have
the
to like
episode.
break it down and like slowly like go backwards and figure it out.
Right. But yeah, I'm excited for that character if it's Fennec, because it would just be an interesting break off of
Yeah.
storyline. I think.
No, I'd be down for that.
Huh.
What?
So oh no, this is just the general cast. Never mind. So I was looking up the cast. I was trying to find the cast for this specific episode.
Mm.
And there was a thing on Rotten Tomatoes where it lists her as Finnick Shand, but it was
It's
under
just-
episode 3, but it was just a general cast listing.
Oh.
Yeah. And
So
she wasn't listening because there was no speaking part. There was no credit of her
yeah,
voice credit,
That's fair.
which is I think it's just them toying with us too. Like she didn't speak, so they didn't have to put her
Yeah.
character,
Mm.
the actress name in the credits. So they're messing with us because we want it to be Fennec, and they're not telling us yet. So
Someone did play the Ordo Moondragon though.
Ooh.
I did see that.
Yep.
Was that D. Bradley Baker?
No,
Oh, because
somebody
he
else.
did someone else in that episode too, I think. But
Yeah, he did. Well, it's just got him listed for the clones.
right. But anyway, moving forward, it goes back to the crashed ship, and Echo and Tech are trying to repair the ship. Oh wait, I think I'm jumping ahead. There's a scene where they say they need a compositor or something, and Omega finds this crate of something and like, hey, is this it? And everyone stops and like, no, that's Crosshair's technical gear or whatever it was. And so there's just kind of like this sad moment. And Wrecker, he's like,
Becomes the sad batch. Sorry.
isn't that what the clone called him
Yeah.
in the first
Yeah,
episode?
yeah.
And you like, that was the worst thing I ever heard. And now you're copying him.
I mean, it's pretty funny to me.
You're
but-
you're cloning his insult.
Oh,
Going
you know.
forward, Wrecker, he's like, all right, I'm just gonna say, everyone, I miss him, and like everyone's all sad. It was a sad moment, but it goes to them outside the ship, trying to fix it, and something is lurking.
in the shadows.
There's always something lurking in the dark in Star Wars, and it eventually gets close enough, and it steals their last compositor, or whatever it was, and runs off. So they have to go after him, and so, but Tech says, "Oh, it's probably Moondragon." Like, you didn't want to tell us? Like, they were like, "Yeah, guys, you didn't know this?" Like, it's just funny how I like how Tech, he's like always has these assumptions that people just know what he knows.
And then
Yeah.
there's Echo. And Echo's been the one in this episode that's like, dude, it would have been nice to know that ahead of time.
Yeah.
But whatever.
But Tech says it feeds off energy sources, like, which is interesting, that it can survive on its own on a desolate moon where there's no mechanical energy or anything. But whatever.
Well, I mean, you saw its den.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how do you survive until another airplane or another ship crashes? Like,
You ration.
that
Dude,
guy
no,
was
it's Star
munching
Wars,
down
dude.
on a
It's Star
flashlight
Wars.
and the capacitor like he
Well,
was
he's
not. But when you're got a ration, you stay hungry. You just do bare minimum.
True.
Dude, yeah.
Have you ever watched the movie The Martian with Matt
Yes.
Damon?
Yeah,
Yes.
oh, yeah.
He
Good
literally
movie.
eats like
I know.
a gram of
this is Star
potato every
Wars.
day for like 3 years or whatever. So
Until he learns how to make his own vegetables out of his poop.
Maybe that's what the Moon Dragon does.
Probably.
maybe,
It's possible.
maybe.
Electric
Maybe
Heard it
poop.
here
he's
first,
learned how to
folks.
make potatoes.
Electric potatoes.
Yeah.
Electric. You can, put some probes into a potato and
Yeah.
Yeah.
turn a light on. So
Yeah.
that is a good. He needs to make potatoes.
I think that Electric Potato is a good band name.
Ooh.
So, anyways, moving on.
Yeah.
All right. So it goes back to the elite squad. They're being monitored or whatever on Camino, and one of the guys is like just kind of saying like, "This is a great opportunity. Like, I wanted a job. They're paying me well. Like, take care of my family, and this is what the Empire is doing, but the Republic never did this." And so, that is just an interesting. Because like we always just joke about how like all the stormtroopers on the Death Star, they just wanted jobs and health insurance and stuff, and they all got killed because they're just trying to provide for their families. But like, it's true. Like, this is what
Yeah.
people did. Like, they wanted opportunities, and the Empire gave it to them, and they just didn't realize the Empire's intent. And so, they just see it as a job. They don't think that they're doing anything evil, or they're just doing what they think is right for the Empire and what they can do for their family. But at this point, Tarkin's like, "All right, we need to test this squad to see how good they really are." And so he's like, send them to Onderon and have them take out Saw's group because the Bad Batch failed. And let's see if if the Bad Batch is the best and they failed, then if we're going to move forward with this War Mantle project, these people have to be better than clones.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, this is like, I know Saw Gerrera is fine, gonna be fine, but everyone else I was worried for. So
I thought we were gonna get like the beginning of seeing him get injured.
Oh, I honestly did not even think that.
You know what I
did not
mean?
either.
because
good job.
when we see him, I was like, oh shoot, this boy's about to get shot at least once, if not twice. But
Because I'm trying to think, when we see him in Rebels, did he have any like major injuries at that point?
Yeah, he had.
Yeah,
some,
he had
some
some.
gear.
He didn't have the.
Because he
part,
still
but-
had both his regular legs, though, right? In Rebels.
Yeah, I think so. He had a little bit of some stuff going on.
But he had
it
a
wasn't-
lot of chest stuff going on. So
Right. I have to go back and look at some scenes to see how, because I think from Rebels to Rogue One, he drastically
Oh yeah.
well,
falls
yeah.
off the table, and because he goes super dark, I guess, with his rebellion.
Well, he
ways.
ate too many muffins in one bite.
And he, you know
That's
what?
what happens to you when if you're not careful.
You
True.
lose your legs if you eat too many. What was that? One? or turn dark. I don't know what you were saying. Because like it would
Honestly,
make
at
sense
this
because like
point,
if you have
both-
diabetes, you
both
can
ma-
like
Okay, okay.
can lose
we're
your
done.
feet.
We're done.
Uh,
We're done.
oh.
We're done.
so like
We're
all the
done.
sugar in the muffins.
We're done. We're done.
Okay, sorry.
But you know what would have helped him not lose any limbs?
What?
Coffee.
Yeah. I don't know how that can be proven scientifically, but here is our sponsor ad.
Hey everyone, Andrew here. I'm pleased to tell you that the sponsor for today's episode is Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea. If you don't know anything about Wesley Andrews, you definitely should. They're an award-winning coffee roaster and shop in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they make fantastic.
Yeah, Jeremiah, I got you 2
The awesome thing is
boxes.
that they have a subscription service that gets those amazing
I hope
coffee
you're
beans
happy.
delivered to your door on an either
I was-
weekly,
I was surprised.
bi-weekly, or a
What the heck is
monthly
this on my? I
basis.
thought it was a bag of garbage at first.
Fortunately,
Like,
we're
You
all
thought
being
you thought someone was like throwing trash on your door.
yeah.
That
It
being
hit your
said,
window,
once
and I
upon a
thought it
time,
was gonna
refreshing
break your
coffee
window.
Oh
totally
god.
exists. I know
Oh,
they'll
lost my
greatly appreciate
deposit.
it, and we will too. After all, using the code
You could have just said someone
EMPIRE
threw
with
stuff on my
capital E and
porch.
capital R with no space at checkout. When you start a new subscription at wesleyandrews.cc, you'll get 50% off your
I would
first
have
purchase.
paid
I can't think
to
of a
see
better
you
deal.
actually
Get
accidentally do
50%
that.
off,
Break
support
it.
your local Minneapolis
Yeah, I wish I was
shop,
recording
and
when I
support your
threw
favorite
it.
Star Wars podcast.
That would
In
have
the
been
words of
awesome.
Emperor Palpatine, do it.
You know what to do.
Go get some coffee. That will help your legs stay on.
Scientifically proven.
Keeps your
Nine,
legs.
9 out of
underneath.
10 podiatrists recommend Wesley Andrews coffee.
True. And if yours doesn't, get a new one.
This is not sound medical advice. I just want everyone to know that you don't need to go into your next podiatrist appointment and ask them if they recommend Wesley Andrews. And if they don't,
Get a prescription for.
gosh,
we don't want to give you a prescription for Wesley Andrews. We want you to subscribe
Yeah.
to Wesley Andrews.
oh wow, Jeremiah, you're choking, man. You need a
Yep.
muffin.
Or
Stay,
coffee.
stay tuned to the end of the stream. So sorry, people just listening to us, but if you're on the stream, we have a surprise at the end.
True. But there'll be fun videos going around. So
Yes. So, after the squad is sent to go to Onderon, it cuts back to Hunter and Omega. They are starting to track the Moon Dragon, and
Ooh, also a great band name,
the Moon Dragon.
Moon Dragon.
Moon Dragon. Yeah, it's
That's-
like a
it's
great
like-
fusion, like a jazz fusion band.
I was thinking like it feels like a Pink Floyd song, Moon Dragon.
Yeah, it's pretty psychedelic.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Jeremiah.
right.
Right.
So Hunter and Omega are. I can't remember if it was just before this or if it was from the previous scene, but Hunter's gonna go after the Moon Dragon, but Omega was gonna be left behind, and she's like, "Well, I'm part of this team now. Like, I should be allowed to go." And like, it was weird that Hunter actually brought her. Like, yeah, she's part of the squad, but she's also doesn't know how to fight a Moon Dragon. Like,
Well, she's also a child.
also a child too.
Like female clone or not, like it's a desolate moon. They can't breathe on their own. They had to wear masks. You
Yeah.
don't know what the gravity situation is. There's a moon dragon.
Well, they were already out there though, so they do know.
Yeah, but like it could have been like the gravity could have been slightly different. Like
It probably
enough,
was.
right.
Yeah,
But
she
then,
could have
like,
been too light, and the gravity wasn't enough to hold
what
her
if
down.
she
or
just
something.
floated away?
She could be like, "I'm Mary Poppins, y'all." Like,
Yeah.
like Guardians of the Galaxy.
When yeah. Oh God. Oh, I forgot. Yep.
That was a good one.
One was better,
anyways.
but
Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever, Omega, she's allowed to go with Hunter. And so Hunter is using his tracking skills, and Omega says, "Well, do you think I can learn?" And Hunter's like, "Well, we each have, as part of my, innate abilities. Everyone has their own, but it's not really something you can learn." But jumping ahead, she did say, "I used your tracking skills to track the Moondragon." And so there was a theory that I heard from the first episode that Omega's special ability is to actually mimic abilities.
oh,
And so, because like in the first episode, when they're trying to escape Camino, Hunter he
Yeah.
puts his fist up to stop, and she copies that. And so I would be. It would be
I
interesting
like
to
that
go
better. I like
Then-
that better than her being a Megazord of all of them.
right. And so like
Wait.
what?
Okay, so that actually makes
that makes a lot of sense because
That
of
makes
the
a lot of
shooting
sense.
part.
well, no, not because of the shooting part, but because later in the episode, I'm jumping way ahead now. Like we're going straight into
Yeah.
theorizing, but like at the very end of the episode, Nalase and what you say or whatever the other one's name is, Yes.
Lama Su.
Lamasu, they're talking. You're welcome for that one.
That's my joke. You
I
stole
know
that
it's your
from
joke.
me.
But they're talking, and he's like, Nalasu is like, it's time for the second phase. You know what I'm saying? He's doing that
Yeah.
thing, and we're like, what is the second phase? And she's like, well, we need a good donor for the second phase, and they're like, they're all Kaminoan property, and we only need one. And I'm thinking, oh, they just. But my thing is like, if they have the Bad Batch and they have Crosshair, why do they need the other clones? Like, if they only need one of the Bad Batch, just one, they have Crosshair. Why do they need more? Maybe that makes a lot of sense actually, because if her special ability is mimicking and learning very quickly, or mimicking other people's traits, her DNA could be the key to the next phase.
Right.
Interesting.
That just actually clicked in my head and it blew my mind.
That is true that like they would want to clone her.
Yeah. Because if you clone Crosshair, it's just a bunch of sharpshooters, which I guess
It's not bad.
not.
It's
a bad
better than
thing.
what the Empire ends up getting.
Yeah,
That's
where
fair.
no one can. And so, like, but
You heard it here first.
right. And so, but what I was thinking when she said that during that conversation was that the original host's DNA sample is starting to degrade. Like, it's not as good as it used to be. And so, it seemed like it was implying that they want to get original, like the first batch of clones, like the first generation to come back. And it sounded like they have an ability or the capability of calling them back, like flipping a switch, like do order 67 and like the clones just return back to Camino or something like that. Where like they would want people like Rex or someone like one of those first generation clones that are the closest to Jango Fett's pure DNA sample,
That's an interesting theory too.
where they would want people like Rex and I guess Echo might be part of that too.
Maybe, yeah. He was
Or
he was pretty
Boba.
early.
Wolf, Cody, like them,
Yeah.
Or Boba.
or Boba. That ooh, Do you think we'll see Boba?
Boba.
We might.
I don't know.
But seeing, so yeah, it could be they want to clone Omega, but it wouldn't make sense that Nala say try to help her escape though. But
True, but she
Does
also
that-
wanted her safe.
safe as well, and so
So
there's definitely something going on that I'm excited for on Camino.
I'm happy
And-
we're seeing more Camino. I thought we were gonna be done on Camino, but
Yeah, I
clearly
like
not.
that it's an every episode thing.
Well,
and
not
I'm
last
really-
episode, but
No, they were on.
we didn't see
Yeah, there's a
Camino.
little, there's a
Did
little
we?
bit of Camino action, yeah. Because Tarkin shows up.
Episode 2?
I thought so. Or he's there.
No, because we were just on that.
Were we
Weird.
only on Sukamai?
Yeah, we were only on Sukumai last episode.
Oh. Well, you know what? It's cool that the Kaminoans are getting more screen time too.
Truth.
Because we know so little about them in visual media.
True.
So, Drew, would you say that Camino is your second favorite place?
Nope. Definitely not.
So it's Tatooine. Then what? Hoth. And then Camino.
Well, if
Probably-
we're doing one from every movie, it would be Tatooine, then Hoth, and then
Endor.
what's a then Endor?
Oh, really? Well, I was just gonna say because if it was Tatooine and Camino, you literally have the polar extremes. But then again, with Tatooine and Hoth, you also have the two polar.
They're both
extremes,
deserts,
so-
though.
Yeah, technically, Hoth is still a desert.
Just a winter desert.
No,
it's about
it's a tundra.
it's about
But-
dryness. A desert is
but-
defined by dryness, and
Yeah.
so like
Well,
Antarctica
is that
technically
real though?
a-
Because people call the sea a desert too.
I've never
like the
heard that in
ocean.
my entire life.
Really?
What? Hold
I've
on.
never heard anyone say the ocean is a desert.
Welcome
Really?
to
Oh, I have.
Empire Radio.
All I know is like Antarctica is considered a desert, no
Correct.
different than the Sahara Desert.
Correct. Except one, because also in deserts it does get really cold too. At night.
Okay, a desert is a barren area of landscape where little precipitation occurs,
Oh.
and consequently, living conditions are hostile for plant and animal life.
So
if
I was wrong
that's
about the ocean.
definition,
But
you have to have a lack of precipitation.
Interesting.
they do
So,
call
welcome to another
Antarctica a desert
episode.
though,
Of
don't they?
Empire Radio, where we get distracted a lot.
What'd you say, Drew?
Don't they call Antarctica a desert though? People
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah, Antarctica is a desert.
Yeah. But yeah, the ocean is not a desert. My bad. I just heard Joe Rogan say it on that podcast. but-
Joe Rogan, I love him
bad,
to
my
death,
bad,
but he says
my-
some crazy stuff
Yeah,
sometimes.
my bad. My bad.
So yes, Omega is with Hunter while Hunter's trying to track the Moon Dragon, and the part is just laying on the ground. He's like, "Oh, okay, let's go get it," and then the claws come up, and it's just like, did he really have to climb up it? He couldn't just poke his head around it. Like I didn't get that, but.
No, it was cool because we wanted to see his
I
hands.
know, I seen the claws. Yeah, it's exciting. I get it.
Dang, dude.
Oh, and before that though, Hunter expresses like how Crosshair is kind of lost or whatever, and she's like, "Well, we can." Omega's like, "We can go get him." Like, so she's hopeful about rescuing Crosshair. So I think that's foreshadowing them trying to rescue Crosshair, which is probably going to be related to the device that Tech is working on, hopefully.
Yeah.
But yes, there's a fight between the Moondragon and Hunter. The Moondragon knocks Hunter around. He loses his mask, pass out because he can't breathe, and the dragon takes the part down into the tunnels under the earth. And so Omega, she panics and, gets the mask on, and he doesn't wake up, which I was like, obviously he's not going to die. But it was just a tense scene for a little a little girl to have to save a father figure from death, and so she's like, "What am we?" Tries to radio in, and no response from the rest of the group, and so she's like, "I'm on my own." She grabs Hunter's pistol and blaster and takes matters into her own. Like, this is the mission. I'm part of the squad. The mission goes on. So she goes down into the tunnels, which was, she was small enough to fit, like, Hunter wouldn't have been able to fit down those tunnels.
True.
No.
That's fair.
So she was needed either way.
She's that small character on the Lego Star Wars games.
Which Jeremiah doesn't get because he never
If
played.
you know, you know.
I know.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. There's always
You
a
need that
droid
little
with
Anakin
you.
Skywalker, little Annie,
Or a droid.
Jawa. Mm-mm.
There's lots of times I swapped into R2 and got over something.
Yeah, but not through the little tunnels.
True. That's
R2
fair.
was too big for that. You had to use a little Annie or like a Jawa or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right, Jeremiah?
Definitely.
Little Annie.
So then it cuts to the elite squad and Crosshair on Onderon, and they find the camp, and it's, a bunch of Saz soldiers with the refugees, and they trip a sensor in the woods, and so the squad the Saz soldiers were ready for them, but the squad came in and just basically just decimated everyone quite easily, and this was like one of the darkest moments in Star Wars for me. Like there was some dark stuff in Clone Wars and Rebels, but was there ever that graphic of like people being killed? Like, there's always droids being killed, and but like the only time I can think of like a person being killed was like when Anakin killed that guy that was trying to make Satine and Obi-Wan compromise their values, and Anakin just comes up behind him. All right, guys, let's go.
Oh, yeah.
What other scenes were there in like Clone Wars or Rebels where just people were killed?
I don't remember any that were on screen. I mean, it's
can't
definitely
think of-
not worse than the implied scene from Revenge of the Sith, but
Well, yeah.
we know that that's a joke here to the two of you, so it's fine.
But yeah, so
Master Skywalker.
Stop.
what are we gonna do? There's too many of them.
You gotta flip it. There's too many of them. What are we going to do? Come on.
That's fair. We're going to do nothing because you're going to cut us in half.
Jeremiah is so done with me. He's so done. I'm sorry.
So it's down to one soldier that is like the last trying to protect the civilians, and she's like, I don't know where, I'm not gonna tell you where Saw is, da da da, and Crosshair just goes and just shoots her, and there's civilians.
Yeah, he also says, the way he said it too was really clever. She's like, I'm not going to tell you anything. And he's like, nah, I didn't think you would. Boom. And just shoots her. But he pretty much says something along the lines of like, yeah, I wasn't expecting you to. And then he just kills her right away.
Yeah. And so then he goes to a couple of the civilians and asks them, and like, we don't know anything. We were just promised, transport off the planet, something like that. And he's about to, just kill them. And one of the other elite soldiers steps in, like, stop, what are you doing? Like, Saw's soldiers are all dead. Like, we've completed the mission. Like, this is...
Saw's not here. They don't
Yeah,
know
like-
anything.
But Hunter's like, or not Hunter, Crosshair was like, that's not our order. Like, we're killing everyone. And the guy's like, we're not doing this. You're crazy. We're leaving. And so
Turns
Crosshair
around.
just- and has him turn around, and Crosshair just shoots him and kills him. He's like, "This is why I'm willing to do anything to."
This is
destroy
why
the
I'm
Empire."
in. I'm
Yeah,
in
this is
charge.
why I'm the leader, because he was asked, "Why are you leading us?" And he's like, "This is why I'm in charge, because I'm willing to do anything." And so the rest of the squad, they're kind of like in a position where if we refuse to kill these people, we're gonna die,
Yep.
but we don't want to kill these people, and so it's then implied that they did kill the people because they returned back with Crosshair, and so
Well, it's not. It's not just implied. You hear it
You hear
at
the
the very end of that
fire going
at
and
the
a
very
couple
end of
shots.
that scene. You hear shots and the flamethrower fire up.
So they burn slash shot people, but they burn people alive. Let's be real. They burn
Well,
people
like, dude,
alive.
at that point, what the flamethrower is just overkill. Like, just get your squad mates. If you're gonna have to do it, just do it quick.
well, it might be to hide evidence.
Sure to burn the bodies
I mean,
afterwards.
That's fair.
Yeah, it was intense though. I was watching
But
with Andrew, and I was like, wait, did they just burn those people alive? That
is why
just
I was
happened
saying-
in Clone Wars? Or, I mean, it's
Which is-
Bad Batch, but come on.
Yeah, which is why we were saying what we were saying about Finnick earlier, because I could see this being a similar situation as like Finn from The Force Awakens, where he's like, "Yo, I can't do this anymore."
True.
So,
Maybe it might, like, go back to that scene and her not shooting her gun.
Ooh, that'd be
And
cool.
all of the, like, the other guys shooting and the flames are going and her gun wasn't discharged.
maybe.
That'd be cool. I'd like to see that.
Because, like, we know that she's a bounty hunter and she's really good at her job, but bounty hunters don't kill just to kill either.
Right.
So that's
Yeah,
not in her nature. So if that is her,
Do you
I
think
can't
that's what
imagine
the whole squad was though? Like, were they just bounty hunters, or like who?
that
'cause they
squad,
were-
like who they were as
Yeah,
people.
because they said something like they were just elite soldiers, some of the best in the galaxy. But like, what does that mean? Like, were they just part of other like
well, yeah, and like there was,
planetary militias or something? Or
yeah, and
military
other,
people, or-
probably, yeah,
Probably.
it has to be something like that because
Well, and they joined. They joined
Yeah.
voluntarily too. So there was probably some sort of an enlistment call, and they joined, and then they
And-
they did all their background checks and stuff and tested them, and
yeah, really quickly.
you know.
It's only been like 10 days or something, but yeah, hasn't it? Since
Oh, you're talking about since the beginning, the formation of
Oh.
the empire.
yeah,
I thought you were gonna have
Yeah.
a question for us, like really quick. What
Yeah,
is it?
yeah, but no. I get what you're saying. Yeah, it. I mean, this has all been happening really fast.
yeah.
So
Or these could be soldiers that Palpatine already had in mind to recruit right away.
they could be, part of the Imperial Guard,
I was gonna say that.
or like the Coruscant, the commandos that Palpatine had around him, or something. I don't know.
I'm wondering if
Interesting.
they were maybe separatists.
Maybe.
That because we know that there were like on the Umbara arc that there were sentient soldiers that were fighting for the separatists. So like
Yeah.
it's interesting because like, we didn't really see a lot of that side in the Clone Wars. So it'll be interesting to see like people from the other side, the separatist side, that are now part of the Empire, and seeing that side. But I don't know if we'll get that. But
Which, by the way, that reminds me, at some point, we need to have a podcast episode where we talk about the expanding universe Imperial Guards, the Red Guards.
well, you and Drew can talk about that, and I'll take a break that we.
Dang.
Okay.
The training is insane, but like I said,
Maybe you could read us a book, Andrew. Like one of those graphic novel versions of it or something.
Yeah, I mean, most of it is from a graphic novel, so stay tuned. Who knows?
All right. Well, technically, in my notes, I kind of got I jumped ahead, because after they kill everyone, this is when Omega and Hunter face off with the dragon, and Hunter gets knocked out. So I jumped the gun a little bit.
And then Omega goes down. Or wait, no, you already told us.
Yeah,
All
I can't. I don't know.
you went by scene instead of.
I took scene by scene rather than chronological. I can't remember the chronological thing. But anyway, Omega goes down two tunnels and finds where the dragon is living, and so a bunch of junk and other parts that the dragon took. But she had the flashlight, and I didn't understand why the dragon didn't attack her down there. Cause like he was kind of calm, like she'd flash the light on him, and he just kind of like whatever, and wasn't interested in her or the flashlight until she threw the flashlight. So
Maybe because
it's because
it
she
didn't
didn't
see her
attack.
as that, and it might not see her as a threat. I mean, like, but for real though, like, the thing was like twice, if not three three times her size.
Well, and
You
he
know.
doesn't want to eat.
Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe she was more like like when you hold a dog a treat. She was holding the flashlight. He was more interested in the flashlight than eating the person holding
It's
it.
possible, yeah.
So maybe he was just like, "You gonna throw it? You gonna throw the ball?" And then she threw the flashlight, and then she was able to leave.
Dude, they could have recruited him like the pet, like
True.
the Bad Batch's pet. That
But
was
then
cool.
they'll be flying, and they'll be eating part of the cockpit
Yeah,
as they're flying.
But they have gonk anyway, so they don't need another.
Yeah,
pet,
good
so.
old gonk.
But she finds the part that the dragon stole. She throws the flashlight. He goes after the flashlight, starts draining the energy out of that, and she climbs away. And at this point, Hunter is already trying to find her, and
Yeah.
so when she pops out, he pulls her out, and he was just surprised that she did it. And she's like, "Well, it was part of the mission. Like,
I'm part of the team.
duh, like
Duh.
I'm part of the team. Like, whatever. Like, I'm supposed to do this." And so Hunter was impressed by her when she did that. Which again, that's when she says, "I use your tracking skills to find." And so that was just like, that's definitely a copy, able to copy people's abilities or mimic abilities. So I'm wondering if it's like one at a time, like the most recent skill that she sees, like she can do, but she can't do like the previous one that she did. I don't know.
Oh.
It kind of reminded me of, did you guys ever watch the show Heroes?
I did, and I couldn't finish it. But yeah.
Well, the first season is like one of the best first seasons of any TV show of all time.
And then it
And-
just gets really.
But anyway, one of the characters, I think it was Peter Petrelli, he could mimic any person's ability, but it was
Yep.
only the
I
last
remember that.
person's
Yep.
ability they saw. So it was only one at a time. And so I think it could be something like that where
That'd be interesting.
she's always equally matched with maybe an enemy or something where she can always do what they do. But again, we'll have to see how that plays out. And then this is when it cuts to Nalase and Lamasu talking about the next phase of their plan, and it's super secretive. We don't know what's going on with that, but we already discussed that a little bit. And then this is when it cuts to Crosshair and the team. They get back and they're successful in the mission, but one person died, but Tarkin, he's still impressed, and then they go back to the barracks, which was the Bad Batch's previous barracks. And so Crosshair goes in and he kind of looks around, and that's when he sees like he seemed a little disappointed or sad that it's not what it used to be. Like, this is not my family. Like, and then he sees Wrecker's check marks on the wall for missions completed, and because we see that in the first episode, and then this is, points back to that. I was like, oh, interesting. And he sits down. You can tell he's thinking, and so definitely the biochip is fading a little bit. In some
Because
ways.
he saw like the etches on the wall.
Yeah, scratches.
Yeah.
Yep. And so, it's just interesting to see how that will play out. And then the final scene is everyone back on the ship with the Bad Batch and
On the H&M.
H&M, and Wrecker has a surprise for Omega and has her cover her eyes, and Wrecker made her own room.
It's really cute.
It was a nice little.
And gave her his stuffed animal.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And so I really liked how it was the darkest animated part of like all the shows,
And like,
and then it ended with a good, positive, adorable
Yeah.
scene. And that's the end of the episode.
Yeah. There it is.
yeah, that was it.
Yep. That was the end.
So, any theories moving forward?
I would like to stick with my theory that Omega is the one that they need to start phase 2. I would also like to see, and I'm hoping to see Crosshair lose the effects of his inhibitor chip wear off over time.
Yeah.
That would be some interesting tension for sure. Instead of it just being like, oh, he's bad, he's bad, he's bad. He's definitely an antagonist. And then we save him at the very end of the season with the chip thing, that Tech is working on.
It would be interesting along that line, like if it starts to fade off like quicker and quicker as time goes on, and so
Yeah.
like where
Like
he
they
wakes
almost
up one day-
overcharged it, and so
No,
like
like-
burnt out.
No, like it wears off completely, and he wakes up one morning and he knows what happened. Like he wants to escape, and while they see that he's awakened from the chip, and they capture him while he's trying to escape, and then they turn it back on where they revamp it up, and he's back to where he was. So he's like trapped. He's kind of like Vader. He's trapped inside the Empire's.
Yeah, that would be interesting for sure.
I would really
'Cause
want
it-
to see that where
Because
he's.
I mean, it is setting him up to be the main secondary storyline.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like for sure now after this episode, like we're going to get the juxtaposition of the Bad Batch versus Crosshair, who's still back in the Empire where they were running from. And I still want to see at some point, preferably towards the end of the season, I want to see them try to take on Vader.
I mean,
It could
I do.
happen.
I do
wouldn't doubt
too.
it. I feel like we would. I don't know. I want to see it, yes, but I feel like
They have a
we'd
lot
more
on their
likely
plate
get, like-
already.
Like one of the first Inquisitors to
Yeah, that's fair.
which would be
So my thing is with Crosshair, that would be super interesting. Like you can tell that the Kaminoans, they have to maintain his chip,
Yeah.
because if they don't, then they really have no use for them anymore. And so
Right.
that's one thing that they're dealing with too. Like you can tell that Nala doesn't necessarily want to do that to him. Like
yeah.
she probably, like, knowing her past and like the way she saved
Omega.
the Omega and the Bad Batch, like that isn't her intentions to do that, but she has to in order to maintain the Empire needing the Kaminoans and Camino and the clones. So it's like you can tell that there's like a third story arc essentially with them trying to come into. So the writing on this is so good. Like it's gonna, yeah, I'm pretty pumped for it.
I agree. The writing is top notch for this
Yeah.
season.
I really like when shows can take multiple storylines and then bring them
And-
all together.
Yeah,
Like Stranger Things does that the best. Like
true.
season 3, they had 3 separate storylines, completely separate, and they
Mhm.
all came in together at the end, and it was great.
Well, even
and
season
so-
1 was like that.
Yeah, like every season, but I think season 3 did the most.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But yeah, so I really like how they don't have any clear cut.
And
Like this is what's going to happen next episode.
Yeah.
Like it's always like what's going to happen. Like we can only see what was in the episode and then theorize what's gonna happen. They never say, "Oh, okay, next we're gonna go to."
Yeah, we're not like on a cliffhanger or anything like
Yeah.
that. So
Right.
For sure.
yeah.
All right. Anything else, guys?
No,
No.
I think I'm good.
Yeah.
All right. You've been listening to another episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah,
I'm Drew.
And I'm Andrew.
and may the force be with you.
Always.